Good kill, good kill. Hey, good kill.
So ever since ED dropped the new Viper flight model, or little tweaks that they made, essentially everybody's been asking for certain fights to be redone. Obviously it gives us a better understanding of how the fight would really go now that the Viper is truly performing the way that a Viper, well, it's closer to reality, the way that a Viper would behave. Today we're doing Viper versus the Eurofighter Typhoon into the merge here, one circle. Now, let's try really hard not to fanboy out here on Eurofighter, F-16, all this kind of stuff. These aircraft are both phenomenal aircraft. The Eurofighter outperforms the F-16 at certain altitudes, and the F-16 outperforms the Eurofighter at different altitudes. Very, very few things in the world can outrate the F-16 on the deck. So that's my goal, survive long enough that I can drag the Eurofighter to the deck and outrate him down there. So far we're in a vertical fight. I'm a little bit slower than I would like to be in this situation. We talked about in the last video how people have to relearn how to fly the Viper. The same is true for me, of course. I gotta iron out some of the negative training we've had in the past. And you can see the Eurofighter is trying to point his nose at me constantly. He's just not pulling enough lead. He just can't get that little incremental lead that he needs to get the shot off. But he's definitely trying. And look at this. Oof. Alright, we might have to just do the one circle thing with him. That's the other thing with the new ITR improvements of the Viper, the instantaneous turn rates and the G onset and the pitch rates. That was close. One circle fighting is still not a good idea, but it's much more feasible. Narrowly rolling around his nose here. Still not a good place to be against the Eurofighter. Although usually I'd be dead by now in the F-16 in a one circle with the Eurofighter. But you can see we're actually able to provide somewhat of a challenge. Let's see if we can survive long enough to get him down to the deck. Remember, I'm just trying to survive here. And to be honest, if he had a little bit more altitude, he might be able to beat me, but it looks like we're headed into the deck transition now. So I'm going to let the Viper build up some speed. And then I'm just going to yank him into the HUD when I have a little bit more speed. I'm going to do a min radius pull, which means I'm going to pull all the way down to my min radius speeds and try to pull him into the HUD and kill him right there. Alright, at 520 knots, still a little fast, but here we go. Eurofighter all the way across the circle, and we are pulling. I'm just stick full deflection back, not sustained turning. We are doing a min radius turn to pull him into the HUD. Look at it. Look at him come. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That is what the Viper does. That's not something you could do in the past with the Viper. A min radius pull like that. Dude, I took him from all the way around the circle. I cashed in everything. And at the end of my energy state, I didn't have much left there, but managed to pull him into the HUD. That is a special thing from the F-16. Very few aircraft out there can do something like that. So the thing with the min radius pull, or pulling to min radius, is obviously it's not the same as a sustained rate fight. In a sustained rate fight, you might be able to squeeze out 23, 24 degrees a second. In the min radius pull, because you're pulling all the way down to min radius, you might be able to get 25, 26 degrees out of the aircraft. But again, it's not sustainable. But it could be very, very helpful when fighting some of these more advanced aircraft like the Eurofighter and the F-22. He's trying to take me one circle. We're going to turn and make it a two circle here. But yeah, so it's not sustainable like I said, but it can be very, very helpful. And that's exactly what happened in that last round. A bit of a nose-on situation here. And I'm just flaring for good practice. Obviously there's no Fox 2s here. It's just guns only. But when you're inside of the Fox 2 Wes, it's good practice to drop the flares. Backing into the one circle roller with the Eurofighter. Almost unavoidable, quite honestly. This thing. Oh. Pretty sure I got hit there. And look at this. Fantastic. This is what I love to see. Oh, now I got hit for sure. No doubt. Can we make him overshoot? Gotta bring him in closer. Alright, well, don't believe Top Gun entirely. It doesn't always end well when you bring the other guy closer. Sometimes he shoots you right in the face. Alright, let's get our last fight in for today, I think, with the Eurofighter. I think we've done a really good job so far demonstrating how dominant the F-16 is in the two-circle and how the Eurofighter is extremely, extremely competent and dangerous in the one-circle. Into the merge here. He's happy to go two-circle. And remember, guys, there's a lot of different factors that determine if you're successful in a two-circle or not. Just because you go two-circle doesn't mean you're going to win. Your energy state matters, you know, your fuel, your weight, like all of these things are important factors. Just because you go two-circle doesn't mean you're going to win in an F-16. But you can see how easily the Eurofighter forces the one-circle fight, almost at will, you know. But the nice thing is that the F-16 now can at least hold him at bay. It feels like it's not that easy for the Eurofighter. And then if he can't capitalize on this before he gets down to the deck, he could be in trouble. But you know, we'll see about that. And again, remember what we just talked about. We get into the two-circle. You see his nose almost pointed at me there. That was a few degrees off. And he took a couple shots there. He thought he might have had me. Once we get down to the deck, if I don't manage my energy well, or, you know, I almost hit a tree and all these other things, he will outrate me. So I got to be careful with that. Here we go. into the deck transition.
Pull up.
I'm so happy that ED has made these changes because the Viper is now just, you know, an absolute animal. And all the things that you've heard people say about the F-16 and how good it is in a dogfight, you can really feel it now. Right? The F-16 was always built to be a dominant dogfighter. Look at him. He actually messed up his rate fight a little bit here. Perfect opportunity for us to pull the nose in. Look at how slow we are, but the nose is still coming around for us. Come on. So close. Come on. Oh my god, I missed him by a few degrees. And he's going to try to reverse into a one circle, but... Oh my god. Yes. There we go. Engine fire. Yeah, he's messed up. He's messed up. Ejection. He punched out. Okay. That was tight. That was a tight one. Oh, I missed him by a few degrees in that pull there. It was so close, so close. If I'd waited another second and then started pulling him into the HUD, I probably would have had him. So, but yeah, good fight. Great fight. So if you've been thinking about getting into DCS, there is no better time than right now. Head over to Apex Gaming PCs for your new custom built computer, customized to your desired specifications and your budget. And if money's a little tight, no problem. Apex Gaming PCs has you covered with A-Firm, so you can pay month to month. Links to their website in the video description below and the pinned comment. Alright guys, so quick little TACV review. I want to talk about min radius pull. We have Dodger flying the Eurofighter for us today, by the way. Big thank you to him for helping out with this video. Basically, in a lot of our videos, we talk about sustained rate fighting. It's what you see 90% of the time. We go to the deck and then we do a sustained rate fight. Sustained rate fight is the speed where if you have indefinite fuel, as long as you stay at that speed, the aircraft will do that turn for you all day long. You know, it's completely sustainable. It's a, let's say your sustained turn gives you, I don't know, 19 degrees a second. As long as you stay in that speed and you have indefinite fuel, for example, that aircraft will do that all day long for you. It's sustained. But a min radius pull is not like that. A min radius pull, you might even get a couple more degrees a second as the nose comes around. You're pulling to the min radius of the aircraft. It's a much slower speed than sustained rate fight, than the sustained rate speeds, but you know, it's not sustainable. You will, if you just keep pulling on the stick, pull, it'll eventually, the aircraft will fall out of the sky, right? So it's not sustainable. But it is, when it comes to the Viper, it's a very interesting thing that the Viper does just because of its nose authority, its energy bleed rate, all these things. The Viper can go from the sustained rate fight, so like 430 knots where it starts, it can start pulling guys into the HUD and just keeping the stick pulled back where it doesn't even sustain rate fight, it just rips all the way down to min radius, where it almost is like a snake or like a noose going around the bandit. It's tightening around him. You're going to see it here in a second. And as it tightens around him, it pulls him into the HUD. And you know, you're going to see this, the TRT, which is the, right here, you can see it. It's the degrees a second. You're going to see this thing really get up there as we go into the min radius and pull that Eurofighter in, as we saw in the first round. So that's what happened, and that's what I want to show you. It's going to be a min radius pull. We're going to focus here on the F-16. You can see we have an indicated of 490. We're going to get up to about in the 500s before I pull the afterburner a little bit. Remember the F-16, if it goes above 450 and you don't pull the burner out, this thing just goes ballistic because she's kind of crazy. But you just have to manage your afterburner and you'll be fine. 500. So you see now we are pulling down. We are 20.1 degrees at an indicated of 491 knots, and you'll see here our TRD, this is our radius in feet, we're pulling 2500. So watch this decrease as we pull through the min radius. So watch this, here we go all the way down to 470. You see this number shrinking, this number increasing. The degrees a second is up to 22.2. We're down to basically 2000 feet at 433 indicated. And look at this, all the way down. We didn't try to maintain the 430 that would have been sustained, right? We didn't do that. We pulled all the way down. We're gonna go all the way down to the 300s, maybe 350, depending on your bandit. If you're fighting a Tomcat, I don't think you'd have to pull more than 350, but the Eurofighter could be a little different. But here we go. Look at our TRT. We are at 25 degrees a second. This is extremely high numbers. And you can see our TRD is all the way down to 1400 and indicated of 380. And here's Eurofighter at 21.1. Okay, 25.3, 21.1. And watch him just get yanked into the HUD here at 24.7. And he's dead. Okay. Also, I guess you could have paid attention to the G's as well, right? The G's are 8.99999 all the way down until the end here. It's basically game over. Pull him into the HUD and he's dead. So that snake thing that I was talking about, when it just kind of wraps around him, let's turn off the labels. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the circle that the F-16 creates. You've got a big circle, and then the circle starts to tighten down. A min radius, okay? As you pull the min radius. That's the whole thing of the min radius, right? You're pulling to the minimum radius that the aircraft can pull. So your circle is naturally going to get smaller and tighter, okay? And it just kind of tightens around them. And you just pull them all the way down right into here. So you may have started this at around 450, you know? By the time you're here, you're about 300, maybe 350. But by the time you get here, here's the thing. If he doesn't die, like the F-22 in yesterday's video, then you could have a problem, right? But most aircraft are not going to be alive at the end of this. At the end of this pull. Like, this is an insane pull. You know, very few aircraft are able to do this kind of thing. And it really is like choking your opponent out. There's not a whole lot that they can do about it. So it's one of those things that the F-16 is very, very good at. So I highly recommend you guys give it a try if you have a chance. Okay, that's going to be the video for today. Big thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.